Get to another song for us, if you don't mind, please.
All right, well, since it's getting a little late in the day and we haven't eaten yet, I'm going to play a song about food. This song is one I wrote in the studio. We had a long session one night, and everybody went to bed around 4 or 5, and I was still up sitting in the studio by myself because I was sleeping on the couch, and I just wanted a taco so bad. I was like, I would just kill anybody for a taco right now. And there was obviously no tacos at 4 in the morning. So there was a bag of Doritos and a bag of flaming crunchy Cheetos. And I ate those and grabbed the guitar, and somehow this song came out of me. It's called Mexican Food, Cold Beer, and Tattoos. 3 of my favorite things. 2, 3, 4. I was 80 miles from Reno in a broke down El Camino, and I never thought I'd ever eat again. I was thinking about Doritos or flaming crunchy Cheetos, anything to keep me from stoving in. And with my sorrows in my pocket, I locked the car and started walking. And it didn't get too far before I came to a place called Los Burritos Grill on the Wilder side of Nowheresville, with the big old flashing neon sign that said Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. There ain't no better trio for a poor boy with the blues. Cervezas and enchiladas and carnitas and coladas. Her tacos aren't the best, but they will do, 'cause I like Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. Well, the lady at the counter asked if I was from around here, and I said, no ma'am, I'm just passing through. As I told her I was hungry and my luck been kinda funny, she offered me a beer and a tattoo. Well, I ordered up some nachos, I bought a round for all the vatos, and I think I seen salvation look my way. Yeah, I know I ain't no holy man, but I tried her guacamole, and now I help her make it every day. Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. There ain't no better trio for a poor boy with the blues. Cervezas and enchiladas and carnitas and coladas. Well, her tacos aren't the best, but they will do, 'cause I like Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. Now we're both behind the counter, and my tattooed arms around her, and we don't have to beg, steal, and plead. I never made it up to Reno, and I sold at El Camino. Now all I got is everything I need. Well, her menu ain't that pricey, and she likes to keep things spicy, and I think I see salvation look my way. I ain't saying I'm a holy man, but I tried her guacamole, and I still help her make it every single day. Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. There ain't no better trio for a poor boy with the blues. Cervezas and enchiladas and carnitas and coladas. Well, her tacos aren't the best, but they will do, 'cause I like Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. Arriba.
Excellent. Yeah, Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. We've been loving playing that one.
Right
here,
on.
Jay. Yeah, Jay Gavin, and that's the leadoff track to
Yeah,
his
that
new
is,
album,
yeah.
Road Ready.
I figured that was the best way to start the album with that one.
Yeah. Oh,
Sets
yeah.
the tone.
The finer things in life.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's that?
Mexican beer, cold beer, and tattoos.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was. Yeah. I was confused
Simple
because
pleasures.
I have a
Simple
song on the
pleasures.
album called "Feels Like Rain."
Yeah.
It used to be called "The Finer Things."
Oh, really?
So I was like, "How did you know that?"
I was checking it. Yeah, feels like rain. It's kind of theme for the day, right? And it's sitting here in
Today it
Spindale. It's
is,
been off and on
unfortunately,
rainy. Yeah.
It sure feels like rain.
Well, yeah. No, I didn't know that about finer things, but yeah, those are the best things right there. There's Mi Pueblitos right around the corner too.
Oh,
Just,
really?
yeah, they got all three of those things.
I was in Austin, Texas one time, is where this whole song really came about. And we were driving down the street, and there was a sign saying Mexican food, and it was like a strip mall, and there was a tattoo place and a liquor store. So it said Mexican food, cold beer, and tattoos. And I was like, what? And then I don't know why, but I wanted to get the words Mexican food tattooed on my stomach right after I seen that sign. And I actually went and got the words. So
On your stomach. Yeah, that's the perfect
I didn't get
place.
it, but I waited so long that it changed now. I just actually got it, and it says Taco Life, and it has 2 Alka-Seltzer pills in the middle. It was a few years in the planning with that one, but another bad decision I made.
Well, I mean, you can be forgiven. You come from the punk and metal background. Yeah, it's all a little silly, right? You gotta play with
right.
what you're given.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, definitely the listeners love that and like pick up on the humor, I think. And
awesome. That's amazing.
yeah, well written song. And I hope you got some Mexican food after the Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Doritos that were a poor substitute at 5
I
o'clock in
did.
the morning.
There's a little Mexican place around the corner from the studio, but I spent a lot of time in Texas, and yeah, Mexican food's okay in Tennessee, but it's a lot better in Texas.
I was going to ask, yeah, where's the best
San
Mexican
Antonio,
food
probably.
restaurant you've been to? San Antonio?
Yeah, probably.
What'd they have? The carnitas?
I love carnitas, and carnitas is in the song just because it's a rhyme.
Okay.
But yeah, I like all Mexican food.
For like Tex-Mex restaurants, what's your go-to order? If like you like all other things, like I don't know, I'm just going to get the.
Well, lately it's been whatever's cheap. But I love the beans. I love beans. Enchiladas. There's usually a combo like a steak enchilada and refried beans
Yes.
and rice. I usually go for that if that's around, and then add a couple tacos on there. I'm not a big burrito guy. That's why burrito didn't make it into the song. I know everybody loves burritos, but I'm not a big burrito guy for some reason.
Well, it can kind of turn into a big gooey mess by the end of it. Like the
Yeah.
taquitos are one of my favorites, and then
Taquitos are
crunchy
good.
chicken tacos,
Oh, yeah.
and those are cheap too, and you can get a bunch of those things.
Anything deep fried is. Yeah. Take something that's amazing and then deep fry it. I'm in.
I love it. I'm glad that we're talking about Mexican food for our
I'm
studio.
so hungry right now.
Yeah, I know. We're almost done. But let's talk about what's coming up next. You're going to be in Knoxville at WDVX, and you're doing another radio session.
Yeah, at the
Blue Plate
Blue Plate
Special.
Special tomorrow at noon.
Yep. And then you're going to be in Nashville on 6/7 at Finally Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you're making your way back up to Canada. Like you're going somewhere really far away after that.
We're going to fly back to Canada, and I'm going to be flying then to the East Coast where I grew up, actually.
Okay.
Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. We're doing a little run down there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Stompin' Tom. He's like the iconic. He's passed now, but he's like the iconic Canadian folk singer or whatever. And he grew up in the same place I did, Skinner's Pond, and there's a huge Stompin' Tom center there now.
Stompin' Tom.
Yeah, Stompin' Tom was he was quite the guy. He's hitchhiked all over Canada playing somebody's guitar, and they call him Stompin' Tom because he has a piece of plywood on stage
Okay.
that he stomps his boot to. It's a super high energy folk
Gets his
music.
percussion out of that.
Yeah, and he sells the boards, or he did. Now he's passed, but he used to sell the boards that he showed because he'd wear them right down. He was quite the. I never liked Stompin' Tom when I was growing up because he was a product of where I came from, and I wanted to get away from where I was, and everybody's like, "Oh, Stompin' Tom's from there." I was like, "Yeah," but I really appreciate him now after putting miles on, especially like I get to see where he was coming from. It's like, yeah.
Well, the small town test, I think, like, is an important part of it. Is like if you're from a small town, then you need to make it out from the small town and see the rest of the world to get some type of perspective on it.
Yeah,
Right? If you end up working at the gas station, you're not exactly to get the free gas. You're not quite doing it right, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have stayed there, I probably would have had an amazing life too. Like, I really enjoyed fishing when I was there. I definitely can't do it now because getting up at 4 a.m. I mean, that's when I'm going to bed every night.
Yeah,
And that's
musicians
early
have different
night.
schedules, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do
You
it
can't wake
anymore,
up at
but
noon or 1. And
It's an amazing job, man. You're out there with 2 of your buddies or whatever, just 1 or 2, 3 guys out there, and you're out in the water. It's hard. It's definitely hard. And when it's stormy, it's a whole nother chapter. But it's a great job. It's a great life.
Well, so yeah, out there at Prince Edward Island, I mean, like hard work is just kind of the way of life. You expect to do it. I mean, I was looking at some of the other jobs that you had before being a musician.
Yeah, I've had some crazy jobs.
Yeah, construction, lobster fisherman, commercial fishing, and yeah, just all kinds of other stuff kind of left out.
Picked tobacco for a long time.
Yeah, if anybody's watching this, on Facebook, and I think we are doing this live, then yeah, you get to see him. You can tell the man
Hey,
worked. You can tell the man worked. So, how'd you get into film? Or tell me just a little bit about that, because I think that must relate to music somehow.
So I've always been really interested in film. When we were growing up in Prince Edward Island, my dad bought a satellite dish in the 80s, in the early 80s. And back then, there was no restrictions on satellites. Usually there was like thousands of channels. So we were just like glued to the TV growing up. And I've always enjoyed, I mean, everybody enjoys movies and stuff, but I've always really enjoyed the process of, or thinking about the process of making it. And then when I was in Vancouver, I mean, there's so much movies and there's so many people out there doing it. I just fell into the right place at the right time. And I worked up to being like a lighting guy and then a camera guy. And I did some second unit directing. Like it could have been a career for me, but there was one point it was like, I'm going to play music or I'm going to make movies, because you can't do both. There's 16-hour days in movies your whole life. And I remember working with this one guy. He was way older than me at the time. I'm probably his age now, but he said he just remembers getting a job at 28 at Bridge Studios working on, I think it was Stargate or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it seemed like he went to bed and now he's like 56 and he's retiring. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be in the studio for that long. I really, really did enjoy it, but the whole process of making films at the bigger scale, like where you want to get to, is not the same anymore. There's no, I mean, I'm sure it's creative for somebody, but you're just a pawn. You know what I mean? You're just doing what somebody told you. So I didn't really
chain of command type stuff.
I enjoyed it, but
it's interesting. We're here in a broadcast technology building for Isothermal Community College, where we are, and students come through, and actually right now watching you over in the other room are like 10 broadcast technology students from Isothermal Community College.
I seen them all coming in. I was like, are they coming in to watch us? Cause
I was wondering too. But yeah, part of what we do and train here, so it's kind of fitting that you're in the building.
Awesome.
Right where students train and learn.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, don't use me for an example for anything.
For songwriting, come on.
Oh, maybe, I guess. If you don't like money.
It's a tough life, yeah.
Yeah.